We took a bolt-up taxi from Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok and arrived at the Holiday in Bangkok Siloam in about 25 minutes. Since we used the expressway, we paid an additional toll fee. The total taxi fare was around 280 baht. We chose the Holiday in Bangkok Siloam for my 4-night stay in the city because we had IHG points. It was a great deal at only 15,000 points per night, including breakfast, which made it excellent value for money. The hotel was clean, well-maintained, and the staff were all friendly, making for a very pleasant stay. On the evening of our arrival, we met my husband's professor friend from Chulalongkorn University. She kindly came to our hotel, and we walked together to Taling Pling, Siloam, which was just a 2-minute walk from the hotel. She ordered a selection of modern-style Thai dishes, all beautifully presented. We enjoyed each one, everything was delicious. We shared delicious food and had a delightful time chatting about all sorts of things before saying goodbye. On the first night, we stopped by a 7-Eleven just a minute from the hotel to pick up some drinks and snacks, then returned to our room to relax. The next morning, we went down to have the breakfast provided by the hotel. There was a wider variety of buffet items than expected, and each dish was fresh and of high quality. It seemed to be quite popular. We had breakfast there about 3 times, and it was quite satisfying. The food was delicious and really helped us start the day well. Right in front of the hotel, there was a Tsuruha drugstore, which made it convenient to buy everyday items like detergent or cosmetics. Japanese products were easy to find in Thailand, and it was nice to be able to purchase them at reasonable prices. That day, while walking around the hotel, the weather turned out to be much hotter than expected in just 10 minutes, so we quickly decided to enter a restaurant that looked cool and refreshing. Although it was a last-minute choice, the place was clean and had a nice atmosphere. We went to a Japanese restaurant called Igeo Izakaya, where we ordered salmon don and unagi don, both of which were delicious. Japanese food wasn't as cheap as Thai food, but the drinks were very tasty, and the overall quality of the food was great. That day, my husband wanted a haircut, so he found a barber shop just a 7-minute walk away. Since there was a language barrier, he just asked the barber to cut it short. To our surprise, the haircut turned out really well. The price was incredibly cheap, almost like it was free. I think it was so affordable because the shop was located inside a local market. The barber shop happened to be located in a local street market, and while walking around the area, we found a Korean restaurant called Anyang Bangkok where we decided to have dinner. It doesn't show up on Google Maps, but it's located on the 2nd floor of a restaurant called Kebab Box. If you go up to the 2nd floor, you'll find the entrance. We ordered Korean-style fried chicken at this place, but the taste was just average. After returning to the hotel, I went alone to Siam Serene Siloam Massage, which was just a minute away, and got a massage. I think it cost around 450 baht for an hour. Whenever my son had some free time, he would also enjoy playing in the hotel's pool. The next morning, we took a taxi for about 6 minutes to 7 Days Optic Siloam Complex inside the Siloam Complex shopping mall to buy my son's glasses. The glasses had nice designs and were reasonably priced, so we were very satisfied with our purchase. After that, we went to a popular restaurant called Northeast for lunch. It was about a 10-minute walk, so we didn't take a taxi, but I remember the heat made even that short walk feel quite exhausting. We ordered a refreshing watermelon juice there, and the portion was really big. All the drinks we ordered were delicious, and the appetizers were also very tasty. The Pu Pad Pong curry was said to be a signature dish, and it had a very smooth, rich flavor. We also ordered pad thai, but it didn't quite surpass the one we had from a street vendor in Phuket. After lunch, we took a taxi for about 13 minutes to Big C Supercenter Ratchadamri for some shopping. The large supermarket was perfect for buying a variety of souvenirs and Thai products. In addition to food and gifts, they also had a good selection of health and wellness items. Next, we took a taxi to Decathlon Siloam for a bit more shopping, and afterward, we took another taxi back to the hotel. After resting at the hotel, we decided to have dinner at a local market just a 6-minute walk away. Our son had a slight fever, so he stayed in the room while my husband and I went out to eat. It was our first time trying true street food, and though we were a bit hesitant at first, we were amazed by how delicious the soft shell crab stir-fried with curry powder was. It completely exceeded our expectations. Eating outside made us slightly concerned about hygiene, and it was a bit hot, but the flavor was excellent. It seemed like both locals and tourists enjoyed these street food spots. Best of all, the prices were incredibly cheap. On our last day in Bangkok, my husband's friend kindly arranged a one-day tour to Ayuttaya by sending her assistant and a student to accompany us. A driver came to pick us up right from the hotel lobby, and we comfortably toured in a van. We were especially grateful to have local guides with us, which made the experience even more meaningful and smooth. It took about an hour to get from Bangkok to Ayuttaya, and the first place we visited was Wat Mahathat. As an ancient historical site, it had a very unique atmosphere, so we took lots of photos. Unlike Bangkok, Ayuttaya felt quiet and peaceful, with plenty of nature all around. There was something really fascinating called the Buddha head in the roots of a Bodhi tree, and it was truly amazing to see. The student was kind enough to take photos for us each time, which was really helpful. We also visited Wat Ratchaburana, which was right next door. At the entrance, they check your clothing, and since my skirt was above the knee, I had to buy a scarf at the entrance to cover up. What was surprising is that the scarf, which cost only 100 baht, turned out to be 100% cashmere when I got home. The buildings at Wat Ratchaburana were also beautiful, with their ancient architecture adding to the charm. We were also grateful for the beautiful family photos the student took for us. We got back into the van and drove for about 6 minutes, where the student and assistant went to Roti Sai Mayabidin Pranam Sangarun to buy desserts. They told us it was something really delicious, and when we tried it, it turned out to be a sweet treat made by wrapping a sugary floss-like substance in roti. This dessert is so fresh that it spoils after just one day, which is why it can only be bought in Ayuttaya. It was so delicious that our family finished it all in no time. They were so kind to buy more for us as a gift. It was such a thoughtful gesture. We ate that too as soon as we got back to the hotel. Honestly, it was an unforgettable dessert, and I wish there was a way to buy it elsewhere. It's such a shame. After that, we drove for about 3 minutes to Ayuttaya Elephant Palace and Royal Crawl. There, we bought elephant food and decided to feed the elephants. The staff recommended that we try riding the elephants, as most people do, but my husband and son weren't interested. So, we decided to just feed them instead. It was a bit sad to see the elephants working in such places, but as we fed them delicious treats, they looked so cute and endearing. After that, we drove for about 4 more minutes to Wat Khun from ferry terminal. Before arriving at the terminal, there was a small drink stand where we bought iced coffee and Thai iced tea. The assistant and the student helped negotiate the price for the boat tour, and we were able to enjoy a private tour on one boat just as they arranged. This terminal was also used by local people as a means of transportation. Riding the boat along the river felt like a unique experience. Along the way, we could also see temples and famous historical sites. As we cruised along the river, we saw restaurants and cafes lining the riverbanks. We also passed by small boats with people fishing. We returned to the terminal and then took the van for about 3 minutes to Palek Boat Noodle for lunch. We heard that this place had even been featured in the Michelin Guide. It was our first time trying boat noodles, and we enjoyed being able to sample several different kinds in small portions. Each one was delicious. My husband and son especially loved them. Since it was a place recommended and brought to us by locals, it felt even more special and was a unique experience. The prices were also very affordable. After lunch, we drove about 7 minutes to our final stop, the Ayuttaya floating market. We were told it's a popular spot for tourists. The shops were built on the water, creating a unique and interesting structure. There were also performances, so we watched one for a short while since we arrived at the right time. There were many shops and restaurants, but we only walked around and explored them briefly. We also took a boat ride near the entrance. After finishing the entire tour, we drove back to the hotel, which took about 1 hour and 20 minutes. We thanked the assistant and the student for their help and said our goodbyes. In the evening, my husband and I went to the massage place I had visited before and enjoyed a couple's massage. On the last evening, my son and we went to Silam Soy 20 street food in the local market. We enjoyed another delicious dinner there. The next morning, we took a Bolt taxi and it took about 40 minutes to reach Suvarnabhumi Airport, with a fare of around 330 baht. At the airport, we had a meal at the Miracle Business Class Lounge. We took a Turkish Airlines flight and after a 10-hour journey, we arrived at Istanbul Airport. My husband and I had been to Thailand before, but it was our son's first time. We had planned to visit famous palaces, historical sites, and popular areas in Bangkok, but once we arrived at the hotel, we ended up spending most of our time around the hotel. Due to the hot weather, we traveled by taxi everywhere and didn't visit many of the well-known tourist spots. Instead, we met people near the hotel, visited restaurants, enjoyed massages, and did some shopping at places within a 10 to 15-minute radius. Bangkok is such a big city that most of what you need is nearby, no matter which area you're in. The location of your hotel really changes the experience of the trip. We hadn't planned to visit Ayuttaya, but thanks to my husband's friend, we had the chance to explore it. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to experience such a Thai atmosphere and visit places that only locals might know. While some parts are commercialized, Ayuttaya still preserves its old charm, which made the visit memorable. I truly hope they continue to protect and maintain the authenticity of Ayuttaya for future generations. I think our week in Thailand was truly local. There's a unique charm to Thailand that remains everywhere you go. The cost of shopping is so affordable, making it a great place for travelers, and most importantly, every dish was delicious. I feel like we'll visit Thailand again just for the food, it's that good.